Bitcoin is trading at nearly 1 million in rand terms, a record high last seen in 2021's bull market. This comes even amid panic in the US that interest rates could stay higher for longer. Tarris Arnold, Business Development Manager at Luno, joins us now to discuss the trends playing out in the crypto space. Thank you so much for your time, Tarris. Now, Bitcoin has been smashing all sorts of levels this week. Take us through the numbers.
Thank you for having me, Zanati. So, yeah, it has been a really exciting week in the Bitcoin space. I think it's a phrase I've been using a lot this week. There's been a lot of hype building, particularly seeing the price skyrocket. So it is chasing down that all-time high, which is about 1 million rand. We're about 40k, 4,000k or 4,000 rand off of that. Today we did see it cross again over the 1 million mark, so that was really exciting. It does come after a week-long rally that did see the Bitcoin price jump up by about 20%. So there is a lot of excitement. I think in dollar terms, which is really helpful to point out, we still haven't seen it actually chasing the same all-time high that we saw during that time.
Yeah.
At the moment, Bitcoin is still trading at about $52,000 per BTC.
Yeah.
The previous all-time high dollar-wise was $65,000. So it does add a lot of legitimacy to looking at Bitcoin as a store of value, particularly in South African terms, seeing that it is performing well, but it also does show an indication of the rand weakening and seeing that kind of discrepancy between the dollar all-time high and the rand all-time high.
Exciting, but also interesting considering that on Tuesday we had panic in the equity markets after the hotter than anticipated US inflation print that, of course, led markets to forecast a higher for longer interest rate environment. So what did Bitcoin actually take its cue from as the equity markets were selling off, but Bitcoin was actually rallying?
Yes, so I think often we see a little bit of we look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as largely a non-correlating asset class. So sometimes when the market is going one place, the cryptocurrency market goes another. So I think that's kind of where we're starting to see that. We saw a lot of panic. I think the Dow had its biggest drop since March last year. So I think often in these situations, we see the crypto space getting a lot more interesting, a lot more volume coming into the space. This has been reinforced now with the Bitcoin ETFs in the United States, which has really increased the amount of institutional funds moving into the space. I think right now that's about $32 billion have moved in just since January alone. So I think all of these factors are really contributing to the Bitcoin price rallying over this period as the other markets are starting to feel a little bit shaky.
All right. Well, let's zoom in to some of the news cycles and trends that we could be seeing in the crypto space, just from the trading of coins that you're experiencing on the Luno platform.
Yes, so I think it's always really important to share that Bitcoin is probably the most well-known cryptocurrency, but there are other cryptocurrencies that really look to solve different types of problems, different use cases, have different economics and technology behind them. So at the moment, in Luno's terms, Bitcoin and Ethereum, Ether, those two are by far the most popular coins that we're looking at. That has not changed for probably the longest time, those two being the biggest ones. But what is interesting is over the past 2 months, XRP, otherwise known as Ripple, has kind of fallen out of our top three, which last year had quite a special kind of rallying year, winning some major court cases in the US. But it's now been replaced by Solana, otherwise known as Sol. That's an altcoin that seems to be getting a lot of traction, particularly this year. It's had quite the rally in it itself, probably starting a lot stronger before Bitcoin did rally-wise. So it's been interesting to see a bit of a shake up there, and I think really indicating that there are new cycles now, new patterns in the crypto market, and it isn't always just repeating the previous cycles.
All right. We'll talk about Luno. There is a partnership that the company has established with Moore. What does that entail?
Yes, I think this is really exciting, something that we announced today. So we have partnered with Moore, who are an internationally recognized and renowned tax advisory and audit firm. Previously, Luno and a couple of other crypto companies, but Luno was really the pioneer, published these things called proof of reserves. Essentially, they were reports that allowed crypto exchanges to prove that we held our customer funds one-to-one. So Luno started publishing these as far back as 2021. Unfortunately, when the market got a little bit more challenging, it became difficult to find the right partner. But then we were able to partner with more. They stepped in, and their local team that's really leading on this has been able to work with us to now bring back the proof of reserve report. So as of today, all Luno customers in South Africa can access a proof of reserve report for their own funds as far back as October, I believe. And it's a really important piece. We don't have a regulatory obligation to provide this, but as Luno, we believe it's extremely important that we are transparent with our customers and provide that trust that shows that if your assets are with us and under secure custodian with us, we hold them one-to-one. They are not being moved to other places without your knowledge. And this is a great way of allowing customers to have that transparency and have kind of the full knowledge to make the choices for themselves.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time and for your insights on what has been driving the crypto markets and also the latest developments in that space. That was Tarris Arnold, a business development manager at Luno.